Hello everyone and welcome back to Nerds Fail Me. My name's Chris Kenner and today we are carrying on with some more No Man's Sky, where I have learnt my lesson from last time. I am going into this a little bit more prepared. So, from last time we needed to power our teleport gate. Kind of weird because it's not, to my knowledge, going to take us anywhere. But we needed this biofurnace. So let me get out of here. So I had to research the biofurnace. What else did I research? Last unit online, yes. Buildable technology. There's the biofuel reactor, which I built, and the electrical wiring. You have to wire things together. And I also have the capability to create a battery, which will be interesting. I would like to have that, really. So let's see, do I have enough to condense some carbon in here? So I need more magnetized ferrite, and I need condensed carbon. I've got a little bit of carbon and I've got not very much ferrite at all. Okay, so first step, go and get lots of those. I will be back in just a second. Okay, I'm back. I've got my resources. There's one of these things running around now. Didn't scare me so much this time. God, what are you? Is it going to plant itself again? Well, not important. Let's stick some of this stuff in the refiner. So, first of all, the ferrite dust. Begin! So we need 100 of each. Where's the... Where are we? Want tech. Power and industry. And power, it's not the biofuel reactor, it's the battery. So we need 60 magnetized ferrite and 100 condensed carbon. So I don't actually need that much of the ferrite. Let's just go in here. Oh, it's done. Excellent. Stuff that in my exosuit. And next up, I needed to condense me some carbon. And there we go. That will drain fuel from here. That's 81%, 80% currently. And the condensed carbon, there's nothing I can really think of that I can't use condensed carbon for that I can use original carbon for. So there's no harm to just turning everything into condensed carbon there, apart from the fuel that's used up. And carbon's so plentiful. Okay, so you'll see in here from this red cable that I have actually already wired up that biofuel reactor. Let's see, power and industry, power, battery. But I don't want this to... What are we missing components? Oh, of course I only made magnetized ferrite. Let's just fix that. So, where's my pure ferrite? There. I only actually... Yeah, I only want to make like 10, so there we go. Begin. Boom. There we go. Together in the end. So, battery. Gotta go through so many menus. What do you mean? Why are you red? Why won't you go down? There. That is where you live. Okay. And then I want my wiring. So, can I remove that wiring? What's the delete? Left control. There we go. So I want to connect from you to there. And from there to the portal. So now, if I come out of all this menu, I can go into my biofuel reactor, put in... Ooh. I can put in oxygen. Oh wow, neither of these provide very much energy. Oh, do I want to go oxygen or carbon? Probably carbon. There we go. Okay, so that's going into the battery, and that is now powered. So I've fueled the biofuel reactor. That is storing energy. Now I am curious. Explore, apparently expand your base. That's my next objective. I'm curious whether this base terminus just requires power from this, or when I'm teleporting, or if it's just going to be a constant drain. That's got a lot of energy going out. I wonder how much this battery can store. Does it say? Yeah, it's like 2% charging. Grid power used 20 kp. I don't know if that's per tick. Who knows? Okay, so I need to return to the base computer. Accessing log from previous user. Additional archives recovered. Entry follows. Scanner detected unusual broadcast repeating 16 from the space station. So that's something we've seen before, that number 16. Warning. End of archive. Records interrupted. Base computer archives have reached their end. It seems there is nothing more I will learn from them. My predecessor appears to have left their base and headed to the space station. Okay. Investigate the space station. This is what I was hoping to get to. I'm gonna leave my base here. I'm tempted to go get that knowledge stone. I crave knowledge. I crave knowledge so much. Also, there's some... is that condensed carbon over there? I think that's a different form of carbon that I can't just get into. Okay, so knowledge stone. Learn the Korvax word for entity. There's also some random chests. Search that. Condensed carbon, excellent. Junk the rusted metal. And I get a microprocessor. Hooray! Okay, but this stuff, is this condensed carbon? Yes! That's excellent news. Because that gives me a lot more. Now what's this? That's also condensed carbon, but it's a crystal that I can't mine without the advanced mining laser, which I can get soon. Not a million miles off, but we're going to have to wait. So, let's get up to my ship, and then get up to... it's not showing the marker, but get up to the space station. I'm not going to deal with that crashed pod. The crashed pods are really, really expensive to deal with, and as we saw on the last video, I actually didn't get anything out of the last one. I'm sure I must have gotten something, even if it was just some nanites or what have you. I need to recharge my life support. Oxygen. Hop in my ship, and away we go. So, we head back out into the stars to see the space station. Now I very nearly went and saw this last time just manually, but I wanted to go through the story properly. So we will pick up again when we have nearly arrived. We're almost there. As we've rounded the planet, the space station comes into view. It's quite a boxy thing, although at least this time I've come from the right side, because that little blue port there, that's where we're going. Can't tell you how many times I've approached one of these from the wrong side and then been like, where's the entrance? I need to get in. And there are people here. We aren't alone in this universe. Myriad races of the galaxy gather together in these space stations, and we can meet them all. And not just that, and oh my god, man, Jesus, what the hell? That is an enormous ship, and I want it, but I can't because it's expensive. I know it will be. So yeah, this is a space station. These are possibly my favourite locations in the game, and that's saying something because I have a lot of love for this game. Other aliens will fly their spaceships in, and I can hop out and talk to them. Hello, you are the owner of this ship, yes? So he's gonna, yeah, gibberish because I don't speak his language. But I can sell and buy items from him, and I can make an offer on his starship. So this is a, what would be? This would be a transport ship. This one. So you've got some various stats there. These are all the inventory slots, including a launch system recharger. What does that do, I wonder? And it's got technology slots. And I can negotiate a price. To outright buy it, it's 4.5 million units. But I can just swap my ship in for a little over 4 million. And you can see the comparison in stats there. My little fighter has 15 slots, this hauler has 25. It's a big difference. I can't afford this ship yet. And it's huge. But there's a myriad of ship designs, not perfectly varied. There are some archetypes that you will see. So there's these haulers, which have some random arrangement. There's some little exploration craft with little bubble cockpits, a variety of fighters, and you learn to recognise them. And you will notice there is a teleporter here. So this will connect with my base in theory. Yes, there we go. Teleport network restricted, apparently. So can I... Yeah, temporarily restricted to in-system teleportation. So, it's not saying it here, but I can actually teleport between different star systems. Let's actually talk to some of these guys. Ensign Harput. This is not a Korvax. This is a Viking. These are a warrior race. The alien, large and intimidating, seems to be attempting to be friendly. Perhaps they know the one who came before me. Ask about other travellers. The alien draws back startled. The look on their face tells me our conversation is over. Okay, perhaps you. Traveller entity. The alien's elegant metallic shell springs to life as I approach. They study me, lights flashing around their visor. Perhaps they know something about the messages left at the base computer. This is a Korvax. These are scientists. Let's ask this scientist about 16. A glazed look passes over the lifeform's visor. The number has some strange effect on them. They seem reluctant to speak further. The Korvax are bizarre. They are technically robots. As a life form, what they actually are is just consciousness. They can flit between bodies as part of a collective. The metallic being chatters away, pouring forth words in a language I cannot understand, but when I blink I see that same red light that stared at me at the distress beacon. And I repeat the word 16. We are watching you, traveller friend. Find what we have left you. Though the alien speaks, the words are not their own. A string of code is echoed back to me through the red glare, logging directly to my exosuit. The crimson light fades away, and I see the lifeform staring at me through its visor. Whatever has happened, they do not appear to have seen it. I should leave. Perhaps my base computer would be able to make something of this code. There we get a little thing on the space station. So I can talk to these aliens a bit more properly now. Because it looks at my biological frame with something approaching pity. Not for the first time, I wonder what lies beneath the entity's mask. And I can request dialect help. Seems pleased by my intellectual curiosity, they present a selection of symbols, each representing a type of Korvax word I might learn. I want to learn friendship with these people. They teach me a word of their language, and I learn the word for hue? I'm not certain how to pronounce that in English, but it's a joyous word that they make when they're pleased about something. Ah, this is one of the ones I spoke to before. Those will be forever locked to me because they are afraid because I mentioned the word 16. The Corvax grows lively as I draw near. They raise their arm towards me and I request dialect help. They're pleased by my curiosity. I want to understand more about trade. And I learned the word for trade. You, have I spoken to you? See, that's the word that I know. That's that joyous word that I can pronounce in my head, and I can't pronounce in real life. It seems. More friendship, please. Which word do I learn now? Help. Okay, that's an interesting word to learn. It's worth keeping an eye out for these. I just received some nanites just from looking at a thing that someone left on a table. This. Ooh, I've travelled. Skip, please. I want to talk to this little guy. This is a Gek. This is the third type of alien that you will commonly encounter. These are traders. Think of the Ferengi from Star Trek. From the moment I entered the room I could smell this Gek. I do not believe a more alluring scent has ever entered my nose. It feels inevitable that I approached like fate itself had pushed me to this moment, and I just want to request some dialect help, please. I don't speak your language. They produce a data pad as though they had prepared for this moment. They present a selection of symbols, each representing a type of Gek word I might learn. Trade is going to be one of the key things with the Gek. Gek word for trade. And I'm just going to go through these and learn words from them. Trade from you. Nanites, you. Have I spoken to you? Yes. Talking nice then. Have I already spoken to you? You the one I spoke to? You two look very similar. Already learnt. Let's offer you that Gek relic. That will increase my standing with the Gek as a faction. If I look closely, the Gek appears to be secreting a greasy substance from their skin. The oil covers their body, rolling into the cracks and crevices. It smells sweeter than I anticipate. Perhaps I should give them some privacy? Yes, the Gek seem capable to produce scents for various things. So now I know the Gek word for units. Let's request dialect help from you. Friendship symbol from you. The word for please. Very useful word. You. What happens if I practice my language skills? Let's see if I can use the word atlas. Say another word. Unit? Let's leave. Okay, clearly that's not working. I don't understand how that's supposed to work. There was a... Where's he gone? There he is. This Vy'keen. No, this is the ensign I spoke to earlier. This one's afraid of me. I wonder... Was there another Vy'keen? I could have sworn that there was. Perhaps not, and I've spent enough time just talking to people. So who have we got here? The Cartographer. Oh, for goodness sake, go away. You get achievements and they crop up and interrupt you at the most inopportune moments sometimes. I have a catalogue of maps and charts. Cartographic entity. That's the only word I can do that. If I exchange a map, what does that give me? Hand me a chart to a new location of interest ready to be mapped and added to their database. So I now have a planetary chart. Contains directions to a point of interest. Access the chart and plot a route. Collect new charts from the Cartographer on space stations. Interesting. This is a mission agent. They will give me quests, but I can't speak enough of their language and I can't do them in this sector. And a trade point, which is why everyone stood over here. Let's sell some of the junk that we've picked up. So from my exosuit I've got these feline livers. Don't need those. I don't want the paraffinium. Have little use for the mordite at this stage. And for the silicate powder, process in a refiner to create glass. I want to keep that, please, actually. Dihydrogen, oxygen, sodium, copper, sodium nitrate, microprocessor. Okay, so I want to switch to my ship's inventory. I want to sell these vortex cubes because their purpose is to be sold. Same with the tetracobalt. Got some gold, more microprocessors, and we're good. So we've sold some stuff now, and we have 86,000 units. So you can tell that the 4.5 million is a long way off. It's worth exploring these little side rooms. What can I get out of this? Some carbon, that's nice. There's nothing else really in here. You get achievements for earning as well. So apparently the encoded message that I got earlier from talking to that Korvax has been stored for later use. When ready to leave, use the teleport terminus to return to your base. I will be ready to leave in a little bit, but there is so much exploring yet to do. Chief among which, finding all of this stuff on the tables. Not all of it can be activated, but it's worth seeking some of it out because sometimes you get units, sometimes you get navigation data. You usually get something mildly useful for just having a peek. So, ooh, these are another thing. These bizarre shapes. We've got some navigation data out of that. And that's largely it. And we now get to modify our appearance, which is something I've been looking forward to because I don't like being orange. So I have a choice. I can modify myself to look like any of the races that we have already met. I can also make myself look like a traveller. I'll run through some of the presets of the travellers because these are the most diverse. But they are alien very intrinsically. For my personal preference, I prefer to remain as an anomaly. Let's see which preset suits me the best. I like the helmet on this one. Let's see, body shape, dumpy. I prefer to be quite dumpy in this. Yeah, that's the dumpy one. Okay, save changes. So this dumpy little fellow is who I'm going to be playing as for the foreseeable future. Okay, so we have across here various technology merchants. These will all sell me things. This one, for example, will sell me exosuit research, but he's got something way more important than just sat in this little bay with him. I can buy inventory slots. This first one is 5,000. As I get more, they get progressively more expensive. What do you sell? Exocraft research, that's for like vehicles on land, which you can get. Starship research, and I think this is the other one I wanted to check out. This guy who sells multi-tool research and also always has a weapon terminal. So I can always check these out. It's worth keeping an eye out for one of these that has a full set of slots, because the damage potential and the scanner range are cool and all, but you can get a lot of mods onto some of them that can really make a big difference, and I want to hold out for that really perfect multi-tool. So let's see. Entity, Korvax, nanites, trade. Okay, so I'm starting to get some of the language already. You can see. Please excuse me. So, we've got scanner modules. There's various things that boost existing things, which these seem to be. Mining beam modules. And you can see these can all be bought for nanites. But these aren't really what I wanted. So I can buy the upgrade modules from him. What about the actual research though? this is different to what I remember. Do you only sell modules as well? Yeah, this is just upgrade modules. This has changed. I used to be able to buy the blueprints for research from these guys. I think I must now have to create it in my base. You, analyst entity. The electronics life form's bright greeting suddenly slows. They tap into their personal data while their facial lights dilate and internal systems crash. Columns of streaming data show their power levels spiraling downwards. Korvax, entity, Borod, Ach, help, Akanul, Zoriel. The lifeform looks to me for help and then points to my gathered resources with a single slow and desperate movement, and I don't have either of the things they would need. I'm sorry. You. What can you do? You can give me dialect help, excellent. And you can tell me the trade symbols. Get word for give. Of course that's a word they would teach me. One of the key things I need to learn is the word for things like carbon, and for the words are relevant. It used to be that the things were categorized, so to speak. So you'd have the let me open my inventory. So you'd have like the yellow ones, the sodium. You'd have the red ones, the carbon, which are the organic elements. So the sodium are the calcilytic elements, and the dihydrogen would be the energy elements. Oh, meaty chunks. Still not sure what to do with those, but okay. We've explored as much as we can at this stage. There's limitations on what we can do just yet. Got my little dumpy guy just in this little jetpack. More ships will come and go through that exit way there, but I am going to go and use the teleporter. Nice thing about the teleporter, it doesn't use your starship launch fuel, but your starship does come with you. Or at least it did. Oh well, I should be able to get back anyway. So let's hop through the teleporter. And here we are. Back at base. Ah, and interestingly, yes. So, my teleporter has died. My battery has nothing in. So the teleporter does indeed use more power just over the course of time. Okay. That's a real pain. There is something I can do to fix it. One of the things I can research is a solar panel. If I go into buildable technology, here we are, the solar panel. It requires metal plating, chromatic metal and gold. Can get these. It's not out of my range. I just would need to be able to store the power in one of these batteries, so that over the night time the base terminus would still have enough power to run. So I think if I get a few solar panels, I should be alright. So our next step is to see what that code was in the base computer. But I'm going to leave that for next time, because it's been a long episode already. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you want to hit that subscribe button, then you can be prepared to receive the next video, and hopefully I will see you next time. Goodbye.